Well, yesterday, my daughter and I went to a bookstore. And that's when the trouble started. There is no way I can go to a bookstore. In fact, any of us can go to a bookstore and not spend money. So, with that in mind, let me recommend Second Chance Books in Middleburg, Virginia. Excellent place. Absolutely excellent. They sell both new and used books. And you never know what you will find. Here are some of the books I found. From 1935, reprinted in 1937, Horsemanship and Horsemastership, Volume 3. Now, this is a book printed by the United States Cavalry, Academic Division. And this particular Volume 3, Part 5, tells you how to put on horse shows, race meetings, and hunter trials. I know I shouldn't have, but I did. My shelves are groaning, as you can see behind me. And this is the least of it. I've got more books than most humans end up having hot meals. It's just something else. Now, the next one is The Perfect Horse by Elizabeth Letts. Okay? And this is all about the sires, the Lipizzan sires. Because while Patton was rescuing the mares and foals, this group were rescuing the sires. Had to get it. You know I had to get it. This one, very unassuming looking, because I hate dust covers. So don't waste your time. This is the Robert E. Lee Family Cooking and Housekeeping book. And you can see included in it pictures, life stories, various drawings, and samples of pages from the Robert E. Lee Family Cookbook. This is the books in which ladies of the house kept all their little secrets and tips and hints and how to make bread, how to cook yeast, potatoes, hops, so flour, and you mix it together and you can make a starter for your bread. Interesting. Very interesting. Mind you, this is before we had things like manufactured baking soda, manufactured yeast. And this was after the Civil War, when people in the South had almost nothing to live on. Sherman kept his promise. Now, we've all heard of all the, yes, excuse me for a moment. Yes, you know what I'm drinking. Stop it. No, nobody sponsored this ad. If it is an ad. I know I don't wear makeup. Of course, I slather everything possible in the way of skincare on my face, but no, I don't wear makeup. What's the point, really? In this weather? Now, before there was a secretariat and a man of war, there was exterminator. Move over Seabiscuit. Exterminator. I can't wait to read it. Now, Exterminator is by Eliza McGraw. And you know I'm nutty about horses, cats, men, wine, song, good food. Who isn't? I mean, really. And then, of course, Manowar. This one is by Dorothy Hours. Sorry, Dorothy. You know I'm an amateur at this sort of thing, right? So far, this is my favorite horse. We'll see what happens. I mean, you know, Forgo was a splendid horse. Oh. And because I have her other 2 books, and she's good, and she's a local writer, Jan Newhart's The Kill. All about mysteries. Yes. I highly recommend Jan Newhart. I really do. Splendid woman. Splendid, splendid, splendid. And it takes place in Loudoun County, just as Rita Mae Brown takes care of a little further south in Orange County. And it's about fox hunting, or pardon me, fox chasing, because they do try very hard not to kill fox. They just want to run around and exercise them a little. It also helps, you know, disperse them over a wider area so that none of them run out of food, because they do have lots of babies, you know. And they all have to have their territories. So, yes. And yes, they give them medicines and treats and foodstuffs during hard winters and so on. So, yes, it's self-sustaining, as it were. But it also keeps the area free and clear of huge housing developments. The demarcation, as we went from Fauquier to Loudoun County, up Route 15, was very clear. On either side, you had these massive, beautiful farms, which, as we know, are always having a hard time making ends meet, unfortunately. And instead of farms, we saw house after house after house in these huge development communities. 1,000 houses here, 5,000 over there. You can imagine what the traffic's going to be like. But then Loudoun County, wham! All that stopped. And there was horse farm after a horse farm after a horse farm. Open land, open skies. A lack of traffic lights. Less hustle and bustle. I mean, Middleburg opens maybe at 10 in the morning. I'm sure they have coffee and bagels before then, but generally speaking, it's a very relaxed, friendly, nice community with all sorts of things to do. And they have a bookstore. Now, I had to go in because they called me. I had ordered this book 3 months ago. And I'm sure they had it in before Christmas. But I couldn't get there yet. It is an hour away. So they called me and said, "It's still here. Are you interested?" And I said, "Oh, yes." Chance to go to a bookstore? I mean, really, yeah. Twist my arm, baby, please. I had money. I had transportation. I even had somebody to carry the books home, since I took my daughter with me. And in fact, she drove. We got a little lost on the way with all these housing developments. The roads have kind of, you know, stop messing with the map, people. Anyway, we made it. And we had a wonderful time. We stopped for lunch. I had quiche Lorraine. So, if you can, support your local bookstore, because there is nothing like having a book in your hand. There's nothing like it. It doesn't require batteries. It doesn't require electricity. It's in your hands. And if worst comes to worst, you can whack people with it. Don't talk to me now. I'm reading. Want to weigh something down? You're equipped. Need a little ballast? Anyway, need a little exercise. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please, if you are in the area of Middleburg, please support Secondhand Books. These are awfully nice people, and I would like this bookstore to survive. Every town needs one. Thank you for watching, and please come again.
J'ai vendu mon timulet pour 15 sous. J'ai acheté du candi rouge pour les petits, du sucre et du café pour les vieux.